Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. Feels like it's been a while. It feels like it's been a while that we've actually previewing Aston Villa in up and coming games. So here we are after international break, the Villa break. Joined by Justin. How are you?
Oh, yes, very good. Looking forward to it. Thank God the Villa's back.
Villa
Jesus.
fans, if you are new, make sure you are subscribing, smash the likes. Villa are back, so let's go for around
3,000.
800 and comment your thoughts on everything that we discuss in this episode. This is Unai Emery's time to become a Villa legend. That is how I am phrasing the next, how long we got? 2 and a bit months left of the season. We are going into the season with everything still to play for. A lot of you have seen Villa successful, winning League Cups, some going to Rotterdam in 82. But this feels for me possibly one of the biggest phases ever in my life of supporting Aston Villa, because we've got everything to play for. And I just want us to embrace it, but actually have the mindset that we're going out to win and we want to win a trophy and we want to get even further in the Champions League. Conte has been talking that he wants to create a legacy at Aston Villa. It would not be special for us, but also special for the fans who have followed Villa their whole life to see us lift a trophy. And I'm so happy that I'm hearing a Villa player coming out and talking about lifting a trophy. I don't think I've ever really heard a Villa player in my lifetime actually say that they want to go out and lift a trophy. So the fact that now it's on his mind, it can't just be on. It's got to be seeping through the squad now. Of that's the objective, and I want to see us just go out and smash it. And yeah, I think Emery has been fantastic at Villa, and for me personally, as a fan, he probably is the best manager I've ever seen at Aston Villa. But to name stamp it with a trophy, this is what he was brought in for. This is what type of a manager that he is. This is Unai Emery's phase now, where he does deliver, and he's shown that he goes out and he picks up trophies. And we're in such a great position now where I want to see this Aston Villa for the next 9 Premier League games, the quarterfinal, semi-final, final of the FA Cup, whatever happens in the Champions League, to just be so intense and just the best I've ever seen us. That's my and that's what I'm manifesting. Like I'm not listening to no negativity about defense or whatever. For me now, we've been away in Dubai. Everybody's mindset is fresh. The lads that have been on international duty, exactly the same. They come back buzzing. This has to be our time now. Justin, what are you saying? I'm not what Winston Churchill and I.
I think we just stop it now. That's enough for me. Yeah, it's incredible, really, because by all metrics up to this point, we've been a bit up and down this season. So to be in this now period of, like you say, 2 months in the position we are, it's absolutely incredible. I've just worked it out. Maximum 18 games left if we was to go all the way in all 3 competitions. So if we get anywhere near that amount of games, we will have had an unbelievable season. So 9 league games, potentially 3 FA Cup games, and a maximum of 6 Champions League games left to play. So if we get up to 15, 16 games this season, we are doing something very special, and it's time to do something very special. I was really pleased for Newcastle the other Sunday watching them win the League Cup. I didn't particularly want them to win it at the start, but you know what? once they got ahead, I thought, you know what, football is about winning things, and their fan base, they deserve to win something. It's been a long, long time. But once they lifted that trophy, my attention then turned to me, my feelings, my club. And we have gone well beyond time now to win another trophy. It is our turn to win something now. And the belief seems to be, as you're sort of saying, Constance come out already, flowing through the squad now. Everybody's come back at the right time. The signings in January have been incredible, and I do credit probably those two, especially Asensio and Rashford, for coming in and probably lifting the mindset and the belief of the squad to another level. And I think that's an important factor. Physically and technically, we know we've got players good enough to beat anybody. But mentally, which is probably the most important part, is do they believe they can beat everybody? And I think with the manager's positivity and his outlook and the way he sets teams up, and he's manifesting, like you say, positivity and trophies, it's almost scaring me to think what could be this season. I'm not afraid of it. I'm going to embrace it, and what will be will be. But I feel in my bones something special is going to happen.
I mean, we've got to earn the right to have something special. We've got to earn the right to lift the trophy. We've got to earn the right to get into Champions League, Europa League. The job is difficult, but I think the way I'm kind of looking at it is we're going into, say, this last phase of the season with everything in front of us still, and for me, that's important in itself. But it's also important that the players now realise that yes, we've not been great this season at times in the league, especially, but that's in the past now. We can park that. We can move on from that, and whatever's in front of us now is fully gettable and fully achievable. And I really want them to grasp it and take it, because it's so important that for all the hard work to get us in the position that we're in now, we've got to take the opportunity. And I think it's been important, this mini break, for Emery as well, because I think when I've been looking at him in his interviews, especially before a game, I've looked at him and felt, you look like the world's on your shoulders here a little bit. And that's a little bit different that we've seen from Emery. And I now hope that he's able to feel refreshed from that sort of like Dubai sunshine, and the sort of like the rays have sort of got into his mind, and he's able to just conjure more tactical plans and just kind of get his spring back a little bit. I think he's probably needed it a little bit, and I think the squad now is looking like it's in a really good place. We've had the camp, and Onana's played, Kamara's played, Pau's played. We've had Barkley, who's been there training. Watkins has been training as well. So, Asensio played in that game in Dubai as well, and again he scored another absolute banger. So I think collectively having the squad fully formed and coming together now is going to be vital. So having this squad back, Justin, what do you think that enables us to be able to do?
Well, I think it gives us strength, doesn't it? I said it, I think, just before the international break. Absolute hats off to the lads that have had to put massive shifts in for us to get us to this point. The likes of McGinn and Tielemans have just played week in, week out, and been pretty consistent really through it all. We've had real problems in certain positions, central defence, double pivot. We've been down to the bare bones in them games. But then you've got to look at the likes of Bogard that's come in and done really well. The signing of Disassi has been really, really good. So for them all to sort of look around that dressing room now and think, okay, whoever starts each game, we can go full bore at it, because we have got very, very good players now in reserve that can come on and affect games. And for the first time this season, I would imagine the FA Cup game's probably a bit of a different one because I think that's going to be a little bit. But once we go back into League and European Cup action again, we're going to see 16, 17, 18 players of top quality. And I do not envy him having to sort of work out how he attacks each game. But he's got everything at his disposal now, hasn't he? The players are there. They are hungry. They can see how close we are to glory. And whatever happens, I can't see anything other than them leaving absolutely everything out on the pitch now because some of the players, the likes of McGinn and Mings, have been here a long, long time. To sort of add the crowning glory of winning a trophy for us would just really, that will be, that'll just be brilliant for him. It'll just be brilliant for him to finish it off. And, we are well overdue a trophy. Overdue.
We'll talk about this trophy because it's the FA Cup, isn't it? And it is the most prestigious out the two, FA Cup or League Cup. FA Cup is the one. So, I mean, how special is it going to be if we can do it? Because the thing is, right? Let's talk about this trophy that we are alluding to, that we are trying to win, right? If Man City go out of this competition, there is an underdog, really, who nobody would have expected to win the FA Cup, right? So, do you really, truly believe, barring, and I know some will say, okay, Man City, they're not the greatest, but they are still Man City. They've still got Pep Guardiola. They're still accustomed to winning trophies in a big game. Do I believe they can step up? Yes, I do. So they are, still a team that's there that are very, very good. But take them out the way. Do you believe we can win that cup?
I'm going to say this now. Categorically, we are going to win the FA Cup this season.
You think?
I have never in my life been so sure of something. I've even decided where John McGinn is going. He's going next to Dennis Mortimer, around about here, lifting a trophy. I genuinely believe we can and will win the FA Cup this season. I do, honestly. I think for some reason the 150th year is going to go down in our history as a momentous year, and it's going to be because we're going to lift that trophy at Wembley.
So we have got to get through.
Man City. I don't care. I don't care. So whoever we play in the last two rounds, we can beat any of them. And at Wembley as well, I think we've got the personnel to really exploit the big open areas at Wembley.
Do you think then, say, I look at who's left in it, right? So Fulham, semi-final, final, we beat Fulham. I think if it's Palace, we've got a bad record against them at their place, but this is Wembley, and I believe that on the big stage, we are pound for pound a better team than them. Forest, I think we beat Forest. I think we'd beat them. Brighton, I think, would be a trickier one. I've got a funny thing with Brighton that I think they'd be quite tricky. And then Bournemouth, Man City, I feel like we'd beat Bournemouth, and Man City would be, it probably would be a tough game. So why not? Like, why can't we just go out and win this now? Like, I don't see anything stopping us from doing it.
I mean, it sounds like we've been blasé about the Preston game, talking about going on and winning it, but I'm not just talking about beating Preston. I'm talking about beating Palace, beating Brighton,
Justin,
beating Forest. It doesn't matter.
If we go out to Preston, I mean,
100%.
That is categorically 100%. An absolute disaster and a
nightmare
and a disgrace. It would be
100%.
It'd be up there with one of the worst losses we've had.
Up there with the what was it? The semi-final game. Oh crikey, Bradford.
Yeah,
You know,
and everyone that knows me always says you have to earn the right to win any game of football, but we have to win that game of football. I'm not seeing anything other than a Villa winning that game because I'm not like I said earlier. I'm not manifesting anything other than Villa wins right now. So
I've
yeah,
got a fancy for Fulham to beat Palace. I think we'll beat Preston. I think Man City wouldn't have wanted that away trip to Bournemouth. They are very good at home. That's one of the hardest games out of the last, of the teams that are remaining. So I think Bournemouth can pull off a victory there. I'm not even going to call it a shock because City aren't the City from last season or the season before. Bournemouth are rightfully now classed as a very good side, good manager, very good players. And I think Brighton will be too strong for Forest on their
yeah, I
home
agree.
patch. So that will leave Fulham, Villa, Bournemouth, Brighton. I think we'll get
Yeah,
Fulham in the semi-final. I think we beat them,
yeah,
and probably Brighton in the final.
yeah. That's how I'm thinking. But I think like you, Fulham go through. I
Yeah.
think City go through, and I think Brighton go through. I
Okay.
think, like you, we play Fulham in the semi, and I think City beat Brighton, and I think it's a Villa City final.
Well, they went last season to the FA Cup final, as you know, and that they lost to Man United were the underdogs, and they beat them. So
Yeah,
look, anything's possible with the players we now possess. On a one-off game at Wembley to cement historical status for them as a set of players. We will never have a better chance, and we now possess the manager that hopefully on the biggest stage, as he's proved throughout his whole career, cup competitions are his forte. That's where he does his best work in one-off games where he can put a plan together to really take the other team apart and work out their weaknesses, and in a one-off game beat them. So yeah, we're winning the FA Cup.
love it. Right. So one thing that I was watching on Friday, very eagle-eyed, was Tuchel ball, and was I impressed with Consa? Probably not. That's just a standard Consa performance, wasn't it? Really, it was nothing new to Villa fans. I mean, he was babysitting Dan Burn all evening, trying to get him in and out of trouble. I thought Consa he was class, weren't he? Like, he was so good for
Absolutely.
England. Like, and do you know why he was so good, right? And this is why I think he was so good, because during those games, right, and this has happened to Villa a lot this season, when you are the better team and a team, the underdog, who's not as good, will have that little moment where the ball will go in behind or someone will make a mistake or there's an opportunity there for them to have a half chance. Against Villa, those have been going in this season. But what Conser did for England is that he stopped those moments from being moments. He covered really well. He read the game very, very well because England could have conceded on some of those opportunities, but Conser was there to stop it, and I thought he was really good. I thought Rashford, like, a bit unlucky with some of his sort of like touches going in the box, etc. But I thought you could see his like tracking back was just like, he was rapid, wasn't he? And he was
Yeah.
working for the team. I was really pleased for that. I was pleased to see Rodgers get on the pitch. And I just think how good for Villa that we've got three players that are playing for Villa. His name checked Ramsey, could be Watkins in there as well. We've got a lot of players now that are in and around that England squad. So
Well,
did
if
you
Dan,
watch?
funny if Dan Burns playing for England, then Tyrone Mings can get back in 100%. If his form keeps improving, Dan Burns like 2 or 3 years older than him, isn't he? Yeah, I did watch it. I was really impressed. I thought he played really well. Probably didn't score the goals we deserved to score. They are no longer the walkover that they used to be. They've qualified for a major tournament. They've got some tidy players. We won the game pretty comfortably, really. I liked our aggression. I liked the way he set us up. I loved his comments after the game. I loved the fact he actually tactically told everyone, what he expected and what he was disappointed with. I think I put it on Twitter that listening to Tuchel after Southgate was listening to Unai Emery after we got rid of Gerrard. It's a breath of fresh air, and a manager that finally, hopefully, has got the tactical and quality to get the best out of what is essentially an absolutely brilliantly stacked set of England players. And the fact we've got 3 or 4 or 5 potential Villa players that can make the grade in at that level, fantastic. I can't wait. I think it's going to be exciting.
He mentioned quite a few times that he wanted to have his England team with similar characteristics to a Premier League team. And I saw that with
Makes
England
sense.
off the ball. I thought England off the ball, we were so aggressive. Rice was aggressive in the sense of not sometimes just a press, but on his own,
High tempo.
on his own, decided to go and win. Curtis Jones, go and win the ball back, and I thought that was something different from England as well. That I think under Southgate we was a bit too passive. Sort of.
I think
Miranda around the pitch.
Yeah, but Southgate's biggest problem was he tried to coach the England team like a European side. Trying to match up with foreign teams, if you like, and the way they play, like a Spanish side or an Italian side or an Argentinian side or whoever he plays, South American one. And I think Tuchel's come in, and I think it helps that he is a European manager. Germany got very similar characteristics and traits to English people as well. And I think surely we should be playing to our strengths, which is strong, attacking, energetic, focused, on the ball, not direct, but play the way that suits us, and then we can basically use the quality we have in the final third to win games. It's surely that's.
I mean, even when Kane was dropping deep,
which frustrates me still.
Yeah, but there was runners running off him, whereas in the Euros he was dropping deep and nobody was running in front of him. But this time you'd got Rashford, you'd got Foden, you'd got Bellingham. So I can understand and see that a little bit more because we got runners this time, and I just thought we were loads better, really. So yeah, did you? I managed to watch a little bit of the Al Ain game on Thursday. First of all, I was watching it on Facebook of all places. Someone was live streaming it off his TV on Facebook, and then I was watching it on YouTube. Then. Did you catch any of it?
I didn't actually. No, I was busy, so I couldn't really get it. But I saw what was an unbelievable finish from Marco Asensio. Was it Kamara that dropped the ball over the top to him?
Do you know? I remember
insane.
when I went to watch Kamara's first game back after his injury at Bodymore. And he played that same little clip in behind. Like he's got that little clip pass in his locker. There was that one angle where it didn't look a great goal, did it? You couldn't really see. And then someone uploaded the other angle, and you were like, first time half volley, like
the touch,
through to the net.
The strike is just, it's wonderful.
I mean,
once
you know what, though? Like, what's he doing in training? He must be scoring absolute bangers, like scoring bangers for a living. Like,
I tell you what, he looks like
the keeper.
It just looks like he's at home. I always think certain players just when they get to a club, it just fits like a glove, and it just seems to have settled in perfectly. And the quality the guy possesses is insane, absolutely insane.
I kind of feel like I think Emery's pulled the blinder here, because I think what he's done is he's really protected him, and I think he's protecting him for like the big games that are coming. I think Emery's known that he can try and get to a certain point, and then he's just gonna unleash him and just be like, go and play, go and win and stuff. And I think that's what he can do, really. So that's really good on that point. So finally, then we'll have a little. We've already knocked out Preston in the FA Cup, according to us on this one. But early thoughts then. How are you feeling? What's your vibe What's your vibe of
Um,
who's going to play? What's your
I think it'll
feeling?
be professional performance. Don't take them lightly. Start really fast. Start strong. We don't want to let them get any kind of footholds in the game. We need to, put our quality all over them from the first minute. I think we're going to go pretty strong. To be honest, I don't think there's any need to go mad. We can stack the bench if we want to. I don't see him playing many what you'd call second string players, like reserve players, stuff like that. We've obviously got the Brighton game pretty quickly after it, which is very, very, very important. So,
Yeah.
I think the likes of Marlon will definitely get a run out. I think I could see him starting. Probably the players that are coming back from injury, they're probably going to get a game. Like we've just said, the ones that have just, and Arna's probably needs a run out to see just exactly where he's at. I think Garcia plays. I think Martin plays. I think Disassi probably plays at the back as well. I think
He can't
no
play. He
needs.
can't play, can he? The
Oh,
Sassy can't
Disassi.
play.
No, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, Bogard probably. I don't really class him now as a youth team player. He's a fully fledged Villa first team player now, so he might get a call up. But there'll be enough sprinkling of quality in and amongst it to get the job done. And there are no excuses at all. So yeah, strong but steady. But I think we win the game.
We win the game. You don't think.
Because I know we're winning the whole thing. So
We win the game. Right. So great to be back.
yeah,
Great to be back.
just talking Villa again. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, just like getting back in the zone, back in the game, getting your mind in the what are we, content creators
Well,
field,
I've been,
whatever.
I've
Mate,
been
you've been
editing. I've been editing.
schmoozing the old boys.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's coming out this week, and I've been editing it all day today. My chat with Peter and it, mate, it was incredible to hold that shirt, that trophy, to be with in his company. It was. I'm just looking forward to sharing it with everyone. Hope everyone enjoys it.
I'm sure we all will. Everybody loved your first one, so yeah, I'll tag Justin's channel in the description, and you can click on it, subscribe to it, and yeah, he's got Peter Whitf on his channel, so that's going to
Some big
be a
names coming
special
up.
one. So yeah, I've been doing some stuff on the villains as well, so that's up and running and going well.
I was watching that before I come on here.
Yeah. Well, I've been working on a biggish show that's took quite a long time to get right. So that'll be out next week as well. So loads of content. We'll have match preview, predicted lineup. We've got a Preston fan coming on this week as well. So you'll be able to get their insight on how they're feeling, etc., and everything to do with Preston. So yeah, back in the swing of things. So cheers everyone
Back
for
stronger.
watching.
Back stronger.
Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.